Hello, Facebook, YouTube. Now, the topic of the message I want to talk about is very important to understand concerning the position of the earth and why the earth is at its position. It explains a lot of things about what's going on on the earth and even the sinister plot of Satan. But the topic of the message is talking about, the earth is, the thing is, the topic of the message, let's get to the topic of the message, the reality of the altars, plural, altars that altered the earth. The altars that altered the earth. Now, I've been, of course, been doing research, and God revealed to me a pattern and to an answer to why the earth is at its bad situation. You know what I'm saying? That is very important. Now, as you know, that there's altars or pyramids that are all across the earth. There's all kind of pyramids, and notice that those certain pyramids are buried underneath the earth, and certain pyramids still stand on the earth. But the thing is, those pyramids and there's half-built pyramids, and the reason why their pyramids are, buried underneath the earth and desolated. You know about the Incas and the Mayans, and there's other pyramids in other places. You know what I'm saying? But I want to start with the main pyramid, and that's the Great Pyramids, or what Isaiah said in 8:19, the pillars of the Lord. Now, the pillars of the Lord were not built by the Egyptians, but they were built by the Sethians. The descendants of Seth built the pillars of the Lord, not the Great Pyramids of Giza. But the thing is, they're trying to, of course, hide that secret because it makes sense to everything. Now, what God showed me, the thing is, what we need to understand, when God created this earth, and He created this earth, perfect. Now, as you know what it says in Romans 12, it says, I present my body as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable, pleasing unto God. That that we, and then it says that not be conformed, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind to what is good and acceptable and perfect. It says good and acceptable and perfect. Now, God said He created the earth, and it was good. It was good and acceptable and perfect. It's created in a perfect spin. The earth was created in a perfect spin. Now the earth is altered to an axis sideways, that now it spins and it wobbles around. That's now the position of the earth, is in a wobble axis. But the earth was in the top spin from the beginning. Now what happened, of course, as you people that did it, in Genesis 6, it talks about that God, did not like what's going on, the evil that was going on in the earth. He didn't like the evil that was going on in the earth, so He had to flood the earth. You know what I'm saying? Now, the question is, what kind of evil was going on in the earth that God will hate, that caused Him to do certain things? Well, I ain't finna explain that evil. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, the Sethians, they built the pyramids. Now they built the pyramids. I can prove it. The pyramids were built perfectly in the center of the earth. They were built perfectly in the center of the earth. Now, why they was built there? They were built there to maintain the position of the earth. That the position of the earth will keep its top spin. And they, worship, and Enoch brought down the plans of building the idea of the pyramids, but that's another message. But he built that to maintain the position of the perfect position of the earth. But what happened was, of course, the plan that Satan, concocted, that the fallen angels, made it with the daughters of men, produced giants, and all kind of other stuff to create them as gods, and for men to worship, that they will build altars across the earth that line up with the ley lines. If you know about the idea of ley lines, that will line up with the ley lines to pollute the power of God concerning the altar of the Lord that's in Egypt. They pollute this altar to make sure that the earth gets off its axis. Now, it's important to understand that it got off its axis. Now, watch this. When it got off its spinning axis, now, God showed me about the ring of fire that is in the Pacific Ocean. That the ring of fire that is all the way to Japan, somewhere in there, is a ring of fire. And in these places, there are volcano activity going on. And volcano activity happen constantly. And the reason why, now, here's what intrigued me about this revelation about the Incas and Mayas. In the Incas and Mayas, what they used to do, the gods tell them to do, is to sacrifice and take the heart out of people. They used to take the heart out of people and as sacrifices. And the reason why is that God gave me a revelation a long time ago, that the heart and the earth is the same ideal, makeup. The heart, earth is like the heart. The heart is like the earth. Now watch this. Now, and our heart, is in a position that is pumping and flowing blood through all through us, to giving us energy. It's the same idea of the earth. The earth is in a proper axis within the sun. It rotates around the sun concerning what's underneath the magma inside of our hearts that supposed to represent the blood of our earth, or more likely the flow of the spinning of the earth that is according to the sun, because it orbits around the sun. And that's supposed to facilitate, the spinning of the rotation of the earth. You know what I'm saying? But when that is now altered to the side that it is right now, what happens is the effect is what the ring of fire that represents the blood of the earth is now applying pressure in the earth, stress on the earth because of its position, and it's spewing constantly magma through that one side of the earth. Because of the tilt axis of the earth, it's now spewing magma at that side, and now it messes up the pattern. That's why the earth is stressing. As we stress in our hearts, the earth is stressing in our hearts because of the position that it's in. It's not at the perfect top spin position that God has created it in. It's now altered to the side. Now, reason why I understand is because I learned about praise and worship. And praise, as we know, praise and worship is about an altar. It's the altar of our hearts, that our hearts alter to not do what's wrong anymore, but do what's right. And the same thing is the same access of the ideal of the earth, that the earth is at a bad position that now is stressing more, concerning its position, and it's causing harm to the earth because of that stress. And all kind of earthquakes and all kind of bad stuff is going on and stuff like that. And I can parallel this teaching to what Jesus talked about in Matthew 24 concerning the pattern, but only another video. But the thing is, what altars, and I've studied in Kings and Kings, when God put the right king there, what they do is, the first thing they do is they destroy the altars, they destroy the groves of what the other, king left on there. And the reason why they destroy these altars and groves, because these altars spiritually alters the earth to the access, or more likely the wrong access that it's in. It spiritually alters it at the wrong earth. It slightly alters the access of the earth that we don't know about. That's why the earth keeps stressing. keep stressing, and that's what the pattern that Jesus is showing us in Matthew 24, that it says that it will be, kingdoms against kingdom, nation against nation, and then when the kingdom against nation, then there shall be famine, there shall be pestilence, there shall be earthquakes, and see, it's facilitating the stress based upon the altars of our hearts that reflects the altars of the earth, that keeping the earth in its wrong access that is causing all kind of this calamity to continue. Now, reason why I'm telling you all this, that is very important that I'm telling you all this, because the thing is, the kingdom of darkness is now in position to have a plan to bring forth the evil forces that were in the earth. You know what I'm saying? The spiritual evil forces that God had prison in the earth to try to get the earth to stress out. Now, here's one thing you got to understand about lava. Lava has to travel a long distance. If you look in geography at the earth and show where magma at, lava has to travel a long ways from out of the earth in order to get on the earth's surface. Go check it out, how long it is. It's real long. And the reason why, that this situation happened, the stress and the magma comes out of earth, because what you don't know, spiritual deities are locked up, that God kept locked up, is being loose right now onto the earth concerning this lava that is shooting from out of the earth. Spiritual evil deities are rising up out of the earth, and Satan is getting ready and prepared or more likely what Jesus warned us and Paul warned us of, the evil day. The evil day that the principalities and powers and rulers of darkness and spiritual wickedness in high places, now they're entering the high places, are getting ready to invade the earth. That I, did a message on based upon the phoenix. That's what's important, the phoenix. The phoenix is going to summon all these evil forces to come back unto the earth. Because it's the prophecy of Enoch that they will return, the people that were destroyed on the flood will return back to the earth. That people don't know about, not understanding that kingdom of darkness is trying to hide from everybody.